Erin Condren made some changes recently with their daily duo, and today I'm going to go over them, and I'm also going to share how I'm planning on using the daily duo as my weekly and daily planner starting in July. And I'm also going to share an alternative daily planner from Erin Condren that you might be interested in if you're not crazy about the daily layout in the daily duo. I also have some markers from Writech that I bought a really long time ago that I want to test out and see how those colors match up with the bold blooms. I did not purchase the markers that they came out with during launch that coordinate with the colors of the bold blooms design, which is the design that I picked. But I remember that I do have those Writech colors, and I'll show them and swatch them and see if we can figure out if those would be a good substitute instead of me buying the new markers from Erin Condren. Okay, I went ahead and moved the markers over here so that I do not forget about them. But first, if you are new here, hey, my name is Lauren, and on my channel, I share tools and tips to help you on your self-care journey. Planning is one of those things that a few years ago I got into, as far as like sitting down every week and looking at my week ahead and mapping out what's happening. I used to only have a monthly calendar like hung up on the wall for my family with all the appointments, and I didn't realize how stressful that was for me to like constantly look at. And also, it would make me feel stressed out seeing an appointment on there, feeling like it was taking up my entire day. So since switching to weekly planning and then eventually also daily planning, my mind is just kind of like freed up in a way that I didn't realize would happen. So that's why like planning is one of those things that I talk about on my channel. So let's go ahead and get into the changes that Erin Condren made into the Daily Duo this year. One of them they made is they changed the ruler. This is actually a change that's across the board on all of their planners. All of their life planners come with a snap-in ruler, and this year they made it a stencil also. So it still has like a straight edge ruler, but it now has elements in it for you to use to draw in. This is perfect for using a highlighter like a mild liner or the Erin Condren highlighters. It'll fit in there. Some circles, some check boxes that you could use all different sizes. These two boxes, if you look carefully, you can see that they are a little bit wider than these two. Now these two boxes are designed to fit inside of the monthly boxes of the 7x9 because the A5 boxes are a little too small for that. So these two are designed to fit that. And then these two, well, those are not designed to fit here either. But these two other ones are designed, those don't fit in there. These two are designed to fit, I think these are 1.5 inches. Yeah, this is designed to fit the column width of other layout designs. They have like a vertical layout and then they have an hourly layout, and both of those have 1.5 inch columns, and so that's what these fit in. Then you have a calendar here that you can use like a habit tracker for the whole month, or you can use it just like for a week. Like what I would do is highlight and then just do the 7 boxes, and that could be like for one habit, and then you can do more habits, or you can use it as an entire habit tracker for like the entire month. I think this is kind of cool. However, I am concerned about the integrity of this holding up over time because now it's got so much open space. It kind of makes it a little bit tricky to snap it onto the planner. And I do not think that I would want to use this ruler like every week like other rulers. So I'm probably going to pull out an old ruler and use that instead. Also, if you line it up at the very top, it sticks out a lot. So what I found is do not stick it in the first one and it'll stick out a little bit like better. It won't be so, it'll be just a little bit from, let's see if you can see that. You won't stick out as much. It'll just stick out just a tiny little bit above the like well, from here, if you stick it up here, but on the inside, you'll feel it for sure. But that's what I would do. Or tuck it in the back pocket if you're planning on actually using it as a stencil. So the Daily Duo, and this is the alternative that I have to share later, and then I want this to show you later so you can get an idea for what I want to do with this. So every life planner comes with, there's always like a vellum page in the front. So whether you get like a daily planner or a weekly planner, there's a vellum page, and the design that's on the bold blooms is just an asterisk pattern. If you get the more colorful Evolve, then you have a different design on your vellum. It just says July through December. The Daily Duo is always broken up into 2 6-month books. You have this page in the front, which is broken down 6 boxes, and then you've got the calendars for the year that this belongs to, and then you've got some line spaces here. And then on the back here, you have the calendars for 2025. In the beginning pages on this one, I do not think, because this one will start in January, I do not think you have, see what will happen is you have these, which is just the first 6 months, which is the duration of this portion of the Daily Duo. And then when you flip here, you get 2026, so you do not get the rest. So what I think I'm going to do is when I'm done with this one, I'm going to snip this out and stick this in here so that I can have a whole like 2025 to look at, and like not just have only this part of 2026, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people don't like that it like just jumps to 2026 when you're using the first half of 2025 right here, but that's like my solution to that problem, is just to take some scissors and just snip and then just pop it in almost like it's a snap in, but just be very careful with it and it'll be fine. It won't pop out. I've done it before where I've snipped out this page, and this is like a thicker cardstock anyway, so it'll be fine. The colors and like the designs rotate. I think it's just 6 patterns. So the 6 that you see here are going to be the same over here, except I think the quotes are different. Yeah, so January is going to see, it's going to be the same design. The only difference is it's going to have a different quote. So when you see all these 6, know that it's the same on this book. It's just going to have a different quote. So this is what the month looks like. And if I didn't mention it already, these are A5 size. You can get the Daily Duo in a 7x9. It's going to look exactly the same. The only difference is going to be the boxes in the monthly are going to be bigger. They're going to be spaced like, where did I put that ruler? They're going to be spaced like these boxes. So it's going to be about that wide. I don't know how tall they're going to be, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be about that tall. Like if we were to combine the both of them, that feels about right, but I could be wrong. New this year for just this design for the bold blooms is they did a shaded sidebar here, which I don't mind. It's cute. I don't ever really do much decorating in my planner these days, so it's fine. And they also switched the dashboard. This is called the dashboard page, and they switched it. It used to be on this side, and there used to be just this notes page on this side. I think personally they did it that way because it makes it easier for them to print the calendars for the planners, like all these calendar pages like this, and like have it batched that way. And then when you get to these pages, these belong to whatever the planner like layout is. So if it's a daily planner, then it's going to be these pages. If it's a weekly planner, then it would, when you turn, it would jump to like a week spread. So the main difference that they did this year with the Daily Duo is they added a notes page and they created a weekly layout. Now last year what we had was at the end of Sunday, you just had this page right here. And then when you turned, it would be Monday. okay, and then Tuesday. And so you only had this page. So now you have this, you have the back of it, and then you have a weekly overview page, and it's not dated. As you can see, it's not dated. And then when you turn on the back of this, you have your Monday. Now, that means they basically added an entire page every week. So it's a little bit thicker, but the coil to me does not seem like it's much thicker than in the past, and it doesn't feel that much heavier. They did a really good job of like making up for the fact that it has extra pages. The Daily Do has always been a pretty chunky planner, and it's never been one that like has extra pages in it. So you can see how chunky that is. But to me, I have a MakseLife planner, and the MakseLife coil basically feels like the same width. The diameter of the coil is like the same as this, so it's fine. And then this being like an A5 size, it feels even better to hold because that one's my MakseLife is a 7x9. The reason this is starting this way is because July starts on a Monday this year. So if I go to August, so you can kind of see, and this is what the August looks like. At the end of the month, you always have a lined page. So August is going to start, well, I guess, okay, there we go. August is starting, okay, so this is how a normal month will look like if it's not starting like on a Monday. You'll have this notes page like you always do next to the dashboard, and then you see how it jumps to Wednesday. So at the end of July, this is where you have like, this is where your week overview is going to be, the page for that. So for the like week that's going to bleed from July into August, because it starts the 29th, the 30th, and then the Wednesday is going to be all the way on this side. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, lined page, and week again. So that's how it goes. So it's going to flow a little bit different depending on what day of the week those dates are falling, if that makes sense. So the other change that they made in the Daily Duo, I don't know if you've noticed, if you've seen one before, the Daily Duo used to have a little monthly calendar right here on every single page. There used to be a little monthly calendar here, and then there was a white space here, and then the line to do box was like a little bit bumped down. So all they did was basically bump up the lines up, and this space down here became a bigger blank box, which I never really liked it, but I used to use a little white space here to put like maybe my vitamin, like reminders for things I need to do that day. And I wish that they would have just left a blank space here, kept the to-do list where it was, and then just left another blank space down here, or turn this into, I wish that this was not blank. I personally don't like blank boxes. I can't write straight. So I would prefer it be maybe like a grid or a dot grid if they don't want to like commit to doing it all lines. Like I understand, but I wish that they would have left the space right here and just kept the to-do list where it was, because putting like something there like the priorities for the day would be a good idea. It doesn't make sense for me to like put like here's some priorities for the day down here, because to me in my brain it's like priorities mean this is important, like I should put it at the top, if that makes sense. So at the end of this planner is, there are no notes pages. It just goes, I'll show you how it ends. It just goes to, you'll have like one notes page right here at the end of the 31st, and you'll have this like half of a lines page and some heritage and awareness observances. Say that 5 times fast. And then you have this back page and some stickers. So you only get 2 sheets of stickers in here, but you also get 2 sheets of stickers in the second book, and you do get a pocket folder. And it does come with a perpetual calendar, and when you get your books, it'll be in the second book. I like using my perpetual calendar for tracking my daily yoga practice. So every day I will write in, this is how long my practice was for today, and I'll write if it was just my own practice or if I followed a video from, usually it's Yoga with Adriene or Sarah Beth Yoga. Both of them have amazing YouTube channels for yoga. And that's how I use that. And I keep this beside my bed and write in it every day what I did for that day. So let me show you my idea for how I want to use. Let me move this out the way because you don't really need to see this. The only other difference in here, like I said, was those pages in the front with the dates that I showed you. These dates are just different. And the rest is the same. It's just all the months, just different quotes. And the back has these stickers. It's the same stickers. And it has a pocket folder. That is the same color pocket folder, right? Yeah, same color. It's like this color too. I have like, because it's new, there's like paper stuff falling everywhere. All right, let me move this one over. I want to show you what I'm planning on doing. And then I'll show you the alternative to the Daily Duo. And then I'll do the marker thing, this test to see what colors, because I think some of these might go well with it. So, okay, so here's my idea with using this as my weekly. Now, if you've been following my channel and watching my stack videos, then you know that I've had an issue for a while now with like a weekly planner that I've been able to stick with for a while. I just keep hopping. And now that they have the added weekly overview page in the Daily Duo, I think I really am going to try and just use this planner as my weekly and my daily. And here's how I'm going to do that. Now, this is a snap-in dashboard that I have, the only one that I have, that has a like Monday through Sunday on the back of it. And it's really hard to kind of see. It's got the old pattern in it from last year. It's the Inspire design. And personally, these designs are, it's kind of difficult to read what you write on here with all the designs in the back, or at least just for me. It might, I don't know, it might not bother other people, but I do plan on picking up the canvas snap-in that they came out with this year. And that one has the same layout where it's, I think it's, actually, I don't think it has this section down here. I think it's just priorities and to do. And then on the back, it has the broken down. So my idea and thought process behind this is that I could snap this right here with my weekly view. And when it's flipped this way, it kind of makes an extension of my week on the back. So I can separate, like, this is what's happening with my kid's schedule and this is what's happening with my schedule, or vice versa. I might decide to do, this is my schedule, this is the kid's schedule, and then I might put to-dos related specifically to those days in this dot section here. And then also on this side, I now have a to-do lists area and a priorities for the week. Now, what I'm planning on doing on this side is bringing in my MakseLife system and putting my weekly actions here. That's like one of the issues that I've been having this year, is that I do have my MakseLife system, but I'm using that planner. It's a horizontal layout and I'm using it as like a journal type on the week pages because I got a horizontal layout. And every day I'm kind of jotting some things down related to just things that happen during the day, with related to like wins and my goals and that kind of stuff, so that it helps me reflect at the end of the week. I've been having a hard time with like pulling my weekly actions into my actual planner. And part of that has to do with the fact that I can't figure out like what kind of weekly planner I want to use and all that. So this I think is going to work. I have the Moxie markers. These are marked in the area of life. So this is the fun and recreation one. And so what I plan on doing is, because I have these, I literally can draw out my own weekly actions and I can show you. Hold on, let me see. I have a notebook right here. What was this? Oh, this was me testing out some highlighters that I got that were Erin Condren. I think it was the Flora, wait, not Flora, old, it was the In Bloom, ones. I had picked those up during the sale for my daughter, and I was testing out the highlighters. Okay, so this is my idea for what I want to do right here. And then I'm going to go like this so you can see kind of like my thought process. So with the MakseLife system, the way it is, and I also have their like sticky notes. So every one of these is a different like area of life. So I could use the sticky notes too in some capacity if I wanted to like pull it into here. I could do that, but I want to, I don't know how many lines. Obviously this is like lined differently. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 26 lines. So this is the first line. So I would do personal. I'm just kind of like eyeballing where the middle is. This is going to be health and wellness. And then work and learning. I don't know how many lines I'm going to need in between. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just do 5 and let's just see what happens. Because this is just, wait. First is fun and recreation. I'm already messing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to leave 5 lines and do this. Let's just see how that works. That math might not math out, but so that's fun and rec. This is spiritual and personal growth. Then is work and learning. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I probably can do 6 finance, because now I feel like I'm going to have a lot of lines in the bottom left over. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I only have 2 lines, so the math is going to be not even no matter what. What I say, I didn't tell you what this is. This is family and relationships. And do I have a pen? I use one of these because it's bolder. So this is personal, health, and I might do it where I write this in script. That word's too big. And then that way, because I usually write in print. So if I do the headings in script, then it makes it like more of a separation. I usually write this as personal development. I'm just going to div. Work. That's a bad. Work and learning. I'm just going to write work and learn. Financial. Family. And then this one is physical environment. Okay, so that's how that, I feel like that would work well there. And then, oh, I don't have my dot markers with me, but I also have the Moxie dot markers. And what I usually do is, let's pretend this is the dot marker. I will make a dot and then I will write in what, usually personal. I have like plan week. What? Me? Oh gosh. Okay, week. I'll have yoga teacher training. Okay, technically, okay, I've put yoga teacher training on here as personal. It could fall under a work and learning because I might potentially turn my, like use my certificate in a capacity to make money. Or it could fall under spiritual and personal development because it's yoga, and there is like some spiritual and personal development aspect to yoga. It's not just like yoga poses, but that's just where I've put it in my goals. But you'll see what I mean, where like I'll fill this out like cardio 3 times. That's usually what I've been doing. So you'll see how like I fill this out. I'm just going to put like pay bills right here. This one, it'll be film, edit, film video, edit, and upload. And over here I might put what pay bills, personal development. That's usually the only thing that goes under here is my weekly actions. And see, so that's like an example of how it'll end up looking. And then I have to like imagine this being like more neutral, but I can use this as like a to-do list for things that are like not related to my weekly actions necessarily, but they're just like items that I need to do this week. So I can have like a space for like writing in my to-dos. And then when I flip, I can see like this is the kids' schedule, this is what's happening with me, and then these are like other to-dos related to those days. Like here, I feel like I would put things that they're not specific to a certain day, and they're not related to necessarily my like goal stuff. And I think that combination of this whole layout being like that is going to be very helpful to like having a week planner in my planner, but in my daily planner. And then, you know, every day I'll be able to just, okay, let's see what's happening for the week. And then I can write down like what's happening today and then pull in things from here and my other to-dos, like what do I want to do today? And then I can write it in. And then of course there's always things that pop up and get added like on the daily. And if something ends up not happening on the day, I could always like either decide to carry it over to the next day, or I can just go ahead and add it to the list over here. So I hope that makes sense, but that's how I'm planning on basically eliminating using a weekly planner. Now, I'm obviously still going to have my MakseLife, and I'm not going to stop writing in it. I do not plan on using this page that's on Sunday as a weekly reflections, although if I wanted to, I totally could. Now, my main reason for not wanting to do this is because I'm going to keep my MakseLife planner, and I don't want to put things in here that are going to make me want to keep this because that's a lot. So what I might do is I might use this page as kind of like a dumping ground for things that happened during the week to kind of serve as like a reminder to remind me on what I might want to reflect on. But I don't know. I might not use it that way at all. I might just, because I'm still using the MakseLife in those week, like everyday journaling, I am putting that kind of thing there. So it feels like it would be silly to put it in here also. The only thing that would be duplicate work is me creating this page to look like this, which is going to look exactly how I have it mapped out in my MakseLife. But the whole reason is because I'm trying to put all of this in with the plans so I can make sure these plans get done. These goals happen. That's the whole point of like the MakseLife system is supposed to be that you keep your goals with your plans. Okay, let me show you an alternative to this that might work in case you don't, let's say you don't need a daily planner for every single day of the year. Let's say maybe there's only like a season or two in the year that you need a daily planner. Maybe there's a couple of months here and there that, you know, get kind of busy and you need a daily planner. So you don't want to invest in buying a daily duo because this is dated and it could be considered a waste to spend money on that. Oh, the other thing I need to do, like, let me leave this here because I don't want to forget. I need to test these out. So let me keep this right here so I don't forget. Hopefully that'll remind me. This is not the cover that came with it, but this one came with a different journal. I feel like it's gotten darker. Should I turn the light on? Okay, I turned the light on a little bit because I feel like it's cloudy today and I feel like it got cloudier. So there might be a ring light here. It might bother you. What was I saying? The cover. Okay, this is not the cover that it came with. The cover that this planner came with was an ugly cover. I'm sorry to say, it was an ugly stripe color. I picked up this cover this cover came on a different journal. I think it was the routines, some kind of routines journal. I reviewed it on my channel. I can pop it up here. But I liked this cover, so I grabbed it. Because sometimes they'll put a cover on a journal and they won't offer that cover option, like not even as a separate cover to buy individually. So sometimes I'll do that. I'll buy the journals or the notebooks because it has a cover that I want. And then I'll figure out what to do with the journal. So this is the work-life balance planner, and it has monthly, weekly, and daily pages. It is undated. So this is good for somebody who maybe occasionally needs a daily page, but not like the entire year. So you do have like a thing on how to use it, which I don't think that's important in here, but the whole point of it being a work-life balance is that there's separate sections for work and life. So here's an undated spread. It is a Sunday start. However, if you're somebody who likes a Monday start, you could easily just redate sounds weird to say when this is like reday it, there we go, reday it. And then you can put the numbers the way they're supposed to. So this is how the week overview looks, and then this is what the daily pages look like. And you've got 3 months worth, plus you have notes pages in the back. I'll show you in a second. This is only an A5 size, so you have to be dropping things. You have to be okay with an A5 size. And I'm going to show you what, well, let's look at, hold on, let's look at the week overview over here. So you can see, okay, so here's what the week overview looks like in the Daily Duo. This is what it looks like in this work-life balance planner. So some ideas is obviously Monday through Sunday, that's self-explanatory. There's no lines, so this has lines. And there's like 2 lists areas here, and you could label it life and work if you wanted to. I don't understand why they didn't do it that way, but I guess they decided to leave it open. Then they have habit trackers here, 4 of them. This is just like a simple like 1 page. Here's what's happening this week. Here's some list items that I probably need to take care of, and then you can just keep returning to this. So you have 7 pages like this, and they all have a perpetual calendar across the top, so you can label it. I would just use like a dot marker or a highlighter, or just even circle it with a pen, like what the month is and what the day is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points. These are shaded boxes, and they're labeled priorities. So this is like life, and this is work, and it is a separate column here. And then down here you have a gratitude section. So this layout is way different than this daily layout. So it would be great for somebody who doesn't necessarily have a lot of appointments every day, and they really just want like a lot of list space. If I were using this as a daily planner, I would probably put under priorities, I would consider like the appointments a priority. So I would probably put the appointments up here, even though it's like a checklist type thing that is in my brain. Checklists always make me feel like it needs to be a task. However, appointments are priorities, so I would probably put those up here since there's no area for like lined appointment things in here. And then I would probably end up making more to-do lists down here, or just using it for notes. Who knows? I really wish that this was lined. Again, I don't write well when there's no, I don't write straight. I mean, I write straight enough. It's just I need to concentrate more. And you do have the gratitude box down here. Daily gratitude's obviously important. I might use this instead, maybe as like self-care box. I probably would list out what my yoga practice is going to be that day if I'm following a calendar. I don't always follow a calendar where I know like this is how much time my practice is going to be today, but when I do, I like to like write it down. So that's what you have for the 7 days, and then it just goes right back to the weekly overview. And then you have, it's all the same color for that first tab. Then you get to the next tab, and it's just another calendar, and this is a more like greenish color. I like this color for the whole next month. Then you have this like coral orange color on this tab, and that's what this looks like. And then you have some meeting notes pages. So this is where this veers off completely from the daily duo, because you might think, okay, well, what if I have like more notes things that I need in my daily? Like this might not be enough, especially because the daily duo also has like a line notes page in between every week. You need more spaces. There are a lot of notes pages back here. And it looks like it alternates between, it just keeps switching from this like purple color to this green, and then it goes to the coral. And it's meant for taking notes about meetings, but you could totally just use it for any kind of notes that you want, and you can just write whatever the topic of this note is, and you can ignore the attendees part, whatever. You can make it your own. It's literally just like lined, mostly lined note space, and you can date it so you can know when. And what I would do is in here you could like make a note somewhere that says see notes, see meeting notes, and then the date that correlates here can match the date that correlates here, you know, that way. But how many pages does this come with? Let's see. Let's consider this just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15, let's call it like 15 weeks worth, because you could consider this as like 1 week, and you might not need this every week, you know? So you've got about 15, and then you might not use both pages every time. Maybe you'll just use this page, and then another time you use this page, you know. You can use it how you want. But this does not have it has some stickers, but it does not have a pocket folder. It has 2 sheets of stickers, and that's it. So this might be an option if you want some kind of a daily page that's on a coil, because Erin Condren, the only other options they have are like their little petite notebooks, and those are like sewn books. They're not on a coil, and those are also dated, but this one's undated. And let me go ahead and try and see if I can color match. Let's see what we can do here. 6 colors. We need some kind of purple, and some of these colors, they look like you know what? I'm just going to swatch these all and then kind of see. These don't have them written on there what they are, but I like that these are like click. That first pass was a little dry. I think this one's like a really good color for this as a color for sure. Hang on. It's not going to match that tab. The first one was like, I think it's the first one. Yeah, that's probably the closest to that one. I do have, I think, another color that's like a pink. This one. This one's definitely like more pink. I don't think this is gonna match anything. Yeah, that's too light. Ooh, this one's pretty. I feel like this is gonna be one of the colors. No. Doesn't necessarily match that tab, but I feel like it matches the vibe. Move this over, and I'm gonna move this purple over. I know this one's gonna be too green. This one's a pretty color, I think. Yeah, this one's pretty. This one kind of reminds me of one of the colors that's in that pack. I already tested out like my mild liners, and none of those colors really coordinated. Not even like the neutral ones. I didn't think that one's like way green. It's like another gray. Ooh, that one's pretty-ish. This one might actually be better for This one actually looks like, not this one I'm holding, it was the one right before it. This one. It looks like December. So I don't have, I think this brown, see, it doesn't look like it matches this tab, right? But look at the page. Like, I feel like it matches the page. So if I drew with this on here, it wouldn't look bad. What's that one? This one? Yeah. And then I think this pink one would still go, even though it's not, like that pink looks like it's in those flowers a little bit, like on the lighter. Is this the pink? What color is this? Oh, this is the one I just put there. Yeah, this one's this one. I mean, I think even this one would go, oops, this one would go fine because it's like a light gray. I think that kind of would look good. And what's funny is that this is like a bluish tab, but there's not a lot of blue happening on this. It's literally like the same as this one. Like, I feel like each of these things has like a gray in it, even though this is like a green. It's like there's not really any green on there. It's very neutral. Can I do it like this? It's kind of hard to see them all together. See how there's like a little bit of a purple? And what's this one? Like, how can I do this? They're all just like very variations. Let's see. I think put these back. This is more than 6 because the pack is only 6 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I say this gray is probably like a bonus color, but I think these, let me put them like in an order that kind of makes sense. Light, maybe. Uh-oh, what happened? My click. Okay, just got stuck. I don't know how I feel about that green though. I think I have a different green that is a mild liner green that might work better than that one. But I don't know. I feel like those colors are not that bad. I don't know. Maybe I should get them and then I can compare it and kind of see. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I'll make sure to leave links in the description to these things. I am an affiliate, but I did pay for all of these things. Nobody sent me anything. I did not receive any collaborations related to launch. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.